has been playing through multiple fractured ribs since week 3. Colts general manager Ryan Grigson released the following statement. Our injury reports are accurate. If people have any questions about player injuries, they should refer to our injury reports. Luck's ribs have yet to be listed on the Colts injury report this season. Skip, what do you make of this?
Stephen A. Smith, this is special. Is it possible?
What kind of special?
Yeah, is it possible that the franchise that ratted out the New England Patriots for quote-unquote cheating has been itself cheating? Karma. I wrote that word down right there. Karma.
I'm sorry, I took it.
What goes around might be, I don't know if this is true. It could be coming back around. Is it possible that the whistleblowers are getting the whistle blown on them? Is it possible that the pot was accusing the kettle? Is that possible? I don't know if this is true. I'm just throwing it out there because here's what I do know. The Colts franchise has been reeling ever since they blew the whistle at halftime, or actually just before halftime, on the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game in Foxborough, Massachusetts. They proceeded to lose the second half of that game with legally inflated footballs, Mr. Brady. 28-0, they lost the second half. And so far this year, I think we could all agree they haven't looked anything like the Super Bowl team that a whole lot of people, including you, thought that they would. So you're right, Molly. Maybe instant karma has gotten them here.
I'm not really paying attention to the karma aspect because I know that's just your excuse to just shower love and praise on the Patriots like you always do. You just can't help yourself. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm not going to waste any time with that. What I will tell you is this in all seriousness. Grigson is suspect, and I think that he looks suspect. And the reason why I say that he looks suspect is because nobody's going to believe anything that he has to say right now because, to be quite honest with you, sir, no one cares. What we care about is an Indianapolis Colts team that we see as 3-4. What we care is about the fact that Andrew Luck doesn't appear to be himself, certainly doesn't appear to have the same zip in his passes, seems a bit reluctant and hesitant to throw the ball. When he throws the ball, he seems to be a fraction of a second late. When he throws the ball, he looks off open receivers and throws it in double coverage. Makes no sense whatsoever. He's been the first to point the finger at himself, and Grigson is very, very lucky that he has a team and a locker room based on all the aficionados you talk to and watch talking on the air. They talk about how this locker room is class personified. I listen to them and I credit them because I haven't been in the Colts locker room with these particular players, so I don't know how they are. But what I would tell you is that they seem to be highly respected, stand-up guys who are really about, you know, absorbing the brunt of the blame rather than pointing it in a different direction. You have an offensive line that has allowed Andrew Luck to get beat up. The belief is that if he did get hurt, it was in that Tennessee game when he took a couple of vicious shots. Obviously, even though he didn't get sacked against the Jets, but he played against Buffalo and then the Jets, he took his share of hits those first 2 games. All right, so when you look at it from that perspective, he clearly hasn't been himself. There's no denying that. We can't absolve him for how he's looked because he's looked bad. That's why they're the 21st ranked offense. That's why they've got the 13th ranked passing attack. They spend a boatload of money in the offseason on receivers. Paid little to nothing to the offensive line. And that's what this really comes down to. You got Andrew Luck weapons, but you didn't buffer his protection. And so when you look at it from that perspective and the fact that Grigson has been there, the fact that this is a guy in his first 3 years that was sacked 100 times, hit about an additional 71 to 72 times, they said that Andrew Luck had been hit more than any quarterback in football coming into this season over the previous 3 years. So when you combine that with the semi-beating he's taken this year, with Harriman, he was supposed to be the big catch because the Eagles shouldn't have lost him. They shouldn't have reneged on the offer that they gave him, but he got picked up by the Colts once he departed from Philadelphia, and then Pagano was like, well, look, he's not doing the job, so I'm going to bench him for Muhort. I believe that's his name. So he comes up in there, and he's there for you, and the protection seemingly has gotten better. In the end, you still lost the last 2 to New England and New Orleans. I don't think you're going to beat the Carolina Panthers tonight at Carolina. I'm here to tell you that. And as a result, I think they're snowballing right now. When you combine that with Grigson arguing with the owner in the locker room, it just tells us that there's something that's going on that transcends the players or the coach. And that's a big problem for Grigson because Irsay ain't firing himself.
I cannot let you give Andrew Luck a pass because of his offensive line. I dare you to go check the tape of the New England game in Indianapolis.
I don't need to check the tape. I told you he's been throwing the ball badly. Okay. I said that in my soliloquy.
All right, but what I'm saying is Andrew Luck also often had enough time in that game to tape another beard commercial before he threw the football.
Yes, and
I'm serious. He had lots of time.
And I also said he looked off open receivers and threw into double coverage. You just don't see me being as demonstrative as I am when I'm praising or I'm getting on your Cowboys or somebody.
No,
but I feel bad because I love Andrew Luck. I love his skill set. I love his game. I just don't like what I've seen from him this year. I think he's been awful this year, no doubt.
He has regressed.
He has regressed.
Thank you.
But I do believe that's not entirely his fault, number one. And I do believe that the future will be brighter than the immediate past has been. I think right now I'm looking at Grigson and Pagano more so than I'm looking at Andrew Luck.
All right. And to start off with, I was not showering praise on New England. I was just showering a little suspicion on Grigson.
It was a little fishy.
Yeah, because you're still upset with them because they reported the Patriots.
Because they blew the whistle on somebody who was not cheating.
Can I get a score, please? Can we focus on tonight, Monday Night Football? Do we have a score in this one?
I'm picking Carolina and Cam Newton to win 27-21.
I think pretty low scoring, 23-14.
Carolina?
Yes, definitely Carolina.
Up next, we had some really disappointing news.